What's up guys, I'm Caden with Crypto Now or Never, and welcome back to another Slippy update. If you enjoy this style of content, please do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button. As always, none of this is financial advice. Let's get into it.
I have a dream, that's all I need. I'll make it happen with some work and belief. Know what I want.
Okay, so it's actually been several weeks since I last covered Slippy, and I've had several people asking me whether or not I'm still bullish on this project, so I figured it was time for me to make another update. Okay, so as we stand right now, Slippy is sitting at a 600k market cap, and to answer your question, yes, I am still bullish on this project. So for this project specifically, what I really like about it is, first off, it's a Matt Furie frog, and specifically if you come over to their website, Slippy is the only animated Matt Furie frog. And you have to understand, we've seen Matt Furie frogs do extremely well this entire cycle. We've seen Pepe run into the multi-billions. We've seen Hoppy run over 140 million. We've seen Grago run to over 17 million. We've seen Fefe run to like 14 million. Not to mention just all of the other Matt Furie characters in general. But specifically, frogs have done very well. So again, you now take into account that Slippy is the only animated Matt Furie frog. And it's also one of the only frogs that's actually named. Several of those projects that I just listed aren't even the real frogs' names. So you have not only the first animated frog, but you also have it named. So from a narrative standpoint, I'm very bullish on Slippy. And then when you just look at the Slippy chart, I also want to point out that it is still holding a higher low. Obviously, yes, it's consolidating right now, but so much of the market is also consolidating with it. It's not like everything's breaking out and Slippy is still bleeding. You can see that Slippy is still clearly holding a higher macro low. And just to kind of take my point a little bit further, I want to come over to CoinMarketCap real quick. So I just want to click on Ethereum. So if you look at Ethereum, you'll see that Ethereum actually broke its all-time high 23 days ago. And yes, it is down 10.2% since then, but it broke its all-time high 23 days ago. If we click out of this and we scroll down and we look at Pepe, you can see that Pepe has not broken its all-time high for 9 months and it's still down 61.9%. And for the longest time, it was believed that Pepe was a very strong derivative to Ethereum. Now, am I saying at this point that that's not the case? No, I'm not. However, over the last few months, it hasn't really been a strong derivative. There's a reason it's still down 61.9%. So now you have to ask yourself, okay, Pepe's down 61.9%. Should a lot of other Matt Furie plays be breaking out? In my opinion, the answer to that is no. So that's part of the reason that I'm not worried about Slippy right now, because we aren't seeing the rest of the narrative breaking out. It would be a completely different story if Pepe was breaking new all-time highs, but that is clearly not the case right now. And the other thing that I want you guys to understand about Slippy that's unique is it is still the original team. So if you look at their X account, they have 1,057 followers, and they're still grinding on here every single day. And if you go and you join their Telegram, they're still very active in there. And I know it sounds almost weird talking about the original team, because the reality is so many projects right now are CTOs. But I actually think that adds a unique element. We've never had to see Slippy get rug pulled first. So they still have the original team, and not to mention they also have very good artwork. This project is definitely something that I'm still very interested in. Now, the other thing that's very important for you to understand that's not related to Slippy is that we are 1 day away from having the next FOMC meeting. So you can see that that is happening on September 17th, and it is currently September 16th. So just understand that over the next day or two, we could see a lot of volatility. And to be clear, right now, they are predicting that we get rate cuts. And as I have been saying for months, do not be shocked if it is buy the rumor, sell the news. Oftentimes we do see that in crypto. However, historically, rate cuts are usually very bullish for risk on assets long term. And that is something that I will continue to say. I think rate cuts could be excellent for the altcoin market. Again, it might not happen right away, but long term. If we come back over to CoinMarketCap, it's interesting because if you look at the Crypto Fear and Greed Index, it says we're at 50, which is neutral. It was only about 8 or 9 days ago that we were down at 39, which was fearful. And it's crazy that we were ever fearful to begin with, especially because Ethereum was still above 4,000. That just shows you how fast people lose perspective in this market. It was only back in April that Ethereum was 1,380. So if people are fearful after a little pullback, that should tell you everything you need to know. Not to mention, if you look at this altcoin season indicator, it's interesting because it's 73 out of 100. But the reality is it's pretty much only high caps that are pumping. As I just showed you with Pepe, Pepe's still down over 60% from its all-time high. But Ethereum broke its all-time high 23 days ago. If you click on BNB, for example, BNB broke its all-time high 2 days ago. It really is only the high caps that are pumping. So if you're invested in low caps, you haven't really noticed a breakout. Even something like SWI right now, which is the 14th largest crypto. SWI hasn't broke its all-time high for 8 months. It's still down 33.2%. And SWI has had a lot of hype this entire cycle. So my point to all of this is just do not lose conviction in your plays. I'm not here to tell you that Slippy is for sure going to break out. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is you can't just expect a lot of these projects to explode when most of the market is bleeding. In my personal opinion, Slippy is still doing everything the right way. They're still grinding every single day, which is something that I respect. And it's the OG team that's been here pushing. But if you guys are interested in Slippy and just getting into projects super early in general, then I always recommend you take a look at my Discord as well. As I always say, we've been printing in here this entire cycle. Some of these projects, $1,000 investment could have turned into over $200,000. And in my humble opinion, we're just getting started. So if this is the kind of community that you'd like to be a part of, you can find the link right here on my YouTube homepage. It'd be a blessing to have you in here with us. But that's about all. Let me know down in the comments how you guys are feeling about Slippy. If you found this content enjoyable, please do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great rest of your day.